Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Kim, and this is Q&A where I attempt to answer your questions psychically by pulling cards, by consulting with my spirit guides, hopefully giving you the answers that you are looking for. Um, it's Friday. We made it. Clap it up. Clap it up. We made it to Friday. I hope you are and have been taking care of yourselves. I hope you are engaging in self care. I hope you're managing your stress as well as you can because it's stressful out here. Okay? A lot of things are going on. A lot of things that should be going on aren't going on. But through all of that, I hope, despite all of that, I hope you guys are finding some joy, doing things you enjoy, finding things to look forward to, because it's hard out in these streets. Okay, I'm doing all right. I I wasn't feeling well for the last few days. On Sunday, it wasn't a cold, it was sinus issues. I don't know what was going on, but it was a lot. And I was just not, I didn't feel like I was sick per se, but my sinuses, congestion, runny nose, my throat was drying out. It was like just still doing it on and off. I don't know if it was one of my meds. I don't know. I don't know what was going on, but I had a headache, and I'm like, where could I have gotten sick from? Because I don't really leave the house like that. I did, I run errands here and there, but it didn't feel like a cold though. So I don't know if it was just some sinus issues. It's starting to clear up. I'm starting to feel better. Um, so if you've been waiting for a reading from me, I apologize. I just was not, I couldn't get to it. I started a lot of them and I couldn't get through it. So, but today you'll be getting those readings. Today I feel like I have the energy. I don't have any such, oh my God, I've been so busy too with that. Everything's been busy. But I'm free today. I'm doing this video, things that I need to get done, administrative stuff that I've been putting off because I just didn't have the mental bandwidth or physical to do what I need to do. So, but today I went to the doctor. It went well. I feel like I'm getting back on track, at least a little bit. Okay. Um, but hey, a lot in the news, a lot going on. Um, Trump continues to lose while robbing the government simultaneously. Tariffs got shut down. Clap that up. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes only. Everything I say here is for informational purposes only. Everything I say here is alleged, even in the comments, okay? But clap that up. No tariffs, no global tariffs were shut down by the Supreme Court. They said no. He was banking on that money. I could see it in his energy. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? He, like I said all those months ago, the main reason before he won the election, I said he just wants to go after his enemies and not go to jail. Those are his two main reasons why he didn't really want to be president again, and to rob the government also, and that's what he's doing. Can you imagine? $1 billion. Everyone's responsible for this. Everyone played a role in this. The media, Democrats played a small role, even though he cheated. People are responsible. Republicans hold the most responsibility. The Supreme Court, everything, everyone. Man, talk about dropping a humongous ball. And now look, you got this man trying to create an authoritarian government that he's just failing at every turn. Department of Education banning of DEI is dead in the water. You can't ban DEI in schools. I said all these advocates, all those people, that sort of protection built up. You're not dealing with corporations, you're dealing with the system. And people that know the law and know what you can and can't do. And dead in the water. Let's see what else happened. Federal judge accuses White House of terror against immigrants in the United States. He crying about them tariffs, y'all. He was banking on that. He was banking on that. But I think he knew it wasn't going to go through. They needed that money. They needed that money. They are never going to get it. They restored the removal of the slavery exhibits. Federal judge ruled you cannot do that. They are rebuking immigration. All those things that they're doing, building those, trying to build those immigration centers and privatize them, right? They're privately owned for money. Creating enslaved people in camps for money. That is sick. And as I'm constantly stuck between a knowing, right, being a higher self and knowing that this won't be able to be sustained, and um, um, and how do I put this lightly? How do I put this lightly? Where in hell? Yeah, that flow between, I know in my intuition that things will be fine. I don't see how it will be fine. I'm not being shown that. I just know that it'll be fine. Um, feels like sooner. Feels like sooner. It's just like, look at the Epstein files. I want to do a video on that. But nothing, like I said, and I got a lot of flack for it, and I said, nothing, they're not going to do anything about it. Even people are still talking about it, and they need to, but then even the news is starting to trickle off talking about it. I've noticed corporate news, not, independent. They don't care. The Department of Justice is owned by Trump. They don't care about the blatant everything that's so. They don't care about that. So that's what I meant when, not one person is in handcuffs in the United States. And when you look back on all the things that those men said, like Elon Musk, if Kamala Harris wins, we're screwed. Or Steve Bannon, if the Democrats get into power, we're going to jail. That's what he said, because that's what they know. They're guilty. They're guilt-ridden child abusers. Mhm. Yeah. So, um, yeah. I mean, what else can I say? I think everything has been said by everyone. Where's the justice? It doesn't exist. We can't rely on this system. Um, the FBI is dead. It's crazy. All right, so let's get into it. I got nothing else to say there. I hope you guys, I mean, y'all not watching it, but it's fine. I'm enjoying doing the new content and the new way that I'm doing content. But y'all not watching. Most, some of y'all are. I appreciate it. I appreciate, I really honestly, it's how YouTube goes. If I'm not putting out things that y'all are interested in, y'all don't watch. I know what y'all here for and what y'all want me to say. Sometimes I'm not interested in that. Honestly, I am a whole person with other interests. Okay, but I do enjoy doing the new content. That's why I I don't feel pressure anymore because things are just taking care of themselves. So I don't, what's going on in our country alone. I don't feel pressure. Kamala Harris she's campaigning. She knows it. People want her to run again. She will. They will ask her to. Um, sorry if that cough was loud. I'm sorry if you could hear my heater too. I'm cold. It's cold out in here. I'm just going to read the questions from my phone because I can't see. All right, let's see here. Mhm. I'm so tired. I need a nap or something. Really tired. Up early. Okay. Um, yeah, that was from 8 days ago. All right, so okay, so first question. It's being reported that ICE is or will be monitoring our online criticisms of Trump and his administration. Will they be will they be arresting those of us who disapprove? Will they begin putting us in the detention centers they are building? Good question. When I saw that, I Let me put a heart next to. If I put a heart next to your question, that means I answered it. But sorry, someone's TV became really loud. I got distracted. When I saw that claim, and my initial reaction was, yeah, that is not out of the realm of possibility. It doesn't, in my intuition, and my guides are saying it's not out of the realm of possibility. They're saying yes, quite honestly. I don't know about arresting. It's an attempt at something in terms of monitoring people. It's bigger than ICE. I said, last Q&A, they're going to, I said, and just, they might as well start focusing on getting rid of social media, is what I said. Yeah, because that's what's hurting them. Because the people on social media is not letting the Epstein files go. On TikTok, on everywhere. Even um, even I know with my channel, not to be like one of those people, but I know I don't censor myself. So I know if some of the things that I say pushes pushes me out the algorithm. Yeah. So let's take a look. When I saw that, I was like, that's real. That claim. Yeah. Yeah, it's real. Mm-hmm. It's not false. Can you show me why it's a yes? I, in terms of the arresting people I'm throwing them into, I'm not sure that's a yes. Doesn't feel like a yes, feels like a maybe, but it's an attempt to do something. It's an attempt. They're gonna start moving into social media because the propaganda isn't working anymore. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. You see Donald Trump put his face on the side of the Department of Justice on the building? Sometimes I honestly like I haven't met all my spirit guides, but I know some of them are I sometimes I have thoughts that are like about that man and what should happen to him. We have the Queen of Wands, okay? This forceful, willful, we'll get you sort of energy and nothing will stop us. That's what it feels like. Ace of Cups, the High Priestess. High Priestess reminds me of Spying. Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, and the High Priestess reminds me of Spying. High Priestess is she keeps secrets. You know, there's a knowing in her. I just need a validation. Yes. The high priestess can relate to spying. um, hidden knowledge. Mm-hmm. Secrets. Intuition. Watching rather than acting. Yeah. That's what monitoring. That's what it feels like. You know? It doesn't feel like um it doesn't I don't want my hair to cover the microphone. It doesn't feel like taking action yet, arresting people yet, you know? But they're really trying to stake their claim and say this is a dictatorship. But it's not quite working. That's what that's what the power is like pushing against. Democracy is pushing, 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 and they're trying to little by little do this thing. It's that I could my guides are showing me. I've always see them in meetings and saying, what can we do next? How can we? Well, we're moving on from Epstein files. Like they are not going to talk about it. They had that meeting with that Wexler man, and not one Republican showed up. What does that say? They are pathetic. They need to go. That entire party. I don't care if you're well-meaning or not. You have to tell them, man. But yeah. The answer is yes, but not quite arresting people yet. I'm not saying this to be an alarmist. I'm telling you this because I knew this a long time ago that we would get to this point, like it would get this bad, and that's what really bothered me and made me like really sad. When you know the truth, but I'm not saying this as a conspiracy theory or to be an alarmist. Like I see things that I'm not searching for, that I know my guides are guiding me or showing me these things. Like um, months ago, what's his name? Peter, Peter Thiel, however you say his last name, and he was talking about the Antichrist and why that's why we need AI and why we need the software, Planetaire, or however you say it. It's scary. It's literally our imitates life. The things you read in books about this sort of stuff. This Orwellian 1984 dystopia they are trying to create. They're literally trying to murder us. I don't want to be like that, but they're trying. They won't be successful. But these are the things, these are their plans. While they glaze up Donald Trump, he's demented, dementia ridden, saying yes to everything, and they're saying yes to his everything about being a dictator. So he wants. So the high priestess, the Ace of Cups, and the high priestess, the intuition that the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the study expansion, expanding. Social media is the Knight of Wands. So, I think of the Wands is, along with swords, is social media related. And then you have the Knight of Wands after the High Priestess. So yeah. Because I say things out loud. I said that they were smart. That's what I would do if I was evil. I was, somebody told me that if I had those desires, I could start a cult. I know that if I use my powers for evil, if I use my skills, my persuasive skills, I could run a cult. And if I was doing what they were doing, I would go after social media. If I saw the Epstein files is out, child. The lid is off. There's no putting it back. There's no going back. So long as the world is watching, so long as the world is actually doing and giving people consequences, and people are being arrested all over the world and investigated, this is not going away. And they know it. And that little board of peace that he put, he's putting $10 billion in of our money, but people are starving and dying in America. Woo-wee. Rest in peace, Jesse Jackson. Happy Black History Month. Donald Trump is still alive. Month 3. Woo-wee. Do you see? Because his punishment is not well, it's what I expect. His consequence, his karma, is what the worst thing for him. The worst thing for him. So, yeah, the answer is yes. I spend a lot of time on that, but when I spend a lot of time on something, it's very significant to the situation, you know? Scary times. Scary times. Okay. Okay. This just restarted. Let's go back. I don't know what that's all about. Number 2. Hi, thank you for all you do in the community. Question. The UN Human Rights Council panel concluded that the Epstein files suggest a global criminal enterprise that meets the legal threshold for crimes against humanity. Will anything come of this? Yes, because someone has to pay for this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Evil has been exposed, you know, in a way it has never been exposed. Intellectually, we know this sort of thing happens and you read about it and it appears like a conspiracy theory, but deep down, you know the connection, you know that human trafficking exists. These sort of like child abuse rings exist, and there are powerful, rich people at the head of it. It's very, oh man. Show me why it's yes. Show me the answer, please. Crimes against humanity. Lovers, Seven of Swords, Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, Five of Cups, Five of Swords, Eight of Cups, the Sun. I can't show the lovers, they're kind of naked. I'll just put my hand over them. The lovers, Seven of Swords. A lot of swords in this Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles. The answer is yes. Five of Cups. Five of Swords. Eight of Cups. And the end is the Sun. The Sun and the Lovers is the major card. So the Lovers is about choice. There's two choices there. Right? That's what the Lovers is about. Making a decision regarding two choices. And that's the first, I'm sorry. Excuse me. That was the first choice to decide this is crimes against humanity. I have not read the files because I don't need to. I know what's in there. People who have read it, government officials, regular people, makes them sick to their stomach. That's how abhorrent, indecent, deviant it is, abusive. That's how terrible it is. And so I don't need to read that. I hear stuff like that as a therapist, all the horrible things, horrific. So I don't have to read it to know what's inside there. And so that's why it's crimes against humanity. Yeah. And so that was the decision, the first step to come to that conclusion. Now what they do with that, you see countries arresting people already. Like the Seven of Swords here. I need a Seven of Swords and the Eight of Wands. This will be what I do see is, oh, losing my brain. What I do see is Bear with me, getting my life together. What I do see is investigation that will take a long time to look through everything, to piece together, to get more information, to investigate further. I do see it happening in the United States. This will never go away. I could say that for sure. But in terms of justice, right now, no, not in the United States. They're not. They're literally not doing anything. They're not pulling up indictments. They're not. Mm-mm. Give me a clarifier for the Seven of Swords. I have no idea what that's saying to me. The Hangman, yeah, I did know. Delays. It'll take a lot of time, the Hangman. Because that's what I see here in this energy, slowness. What I see with the Page of Pentacles, even though the Eight of Wands is there, but the Seven of Swords is right before it, and it's something slowing it down. The progressive energy. And the Seven of Swords, the clarifier is the Hangman, and that means delays. Delays in progress. Page of Pentacles is slow moving, focus energy. So that's why, something internationally, let's say, it seems like things will take time to piece together. People are creating their own investigation. They're piecing together their own investigation, arresting people, interrogating them. But it'll take time. It'll take a long time. The Five of Cups. Lots of healing in this energy too. The Five of Cups is about healing through your pain and despair and your loss. These people lost a lot. Some of them lost their lives. And so with the Five of Cups, um, with the Five of Cups there, it's about always two cups filled. The Five of Cups is always cups spilled over. Three cups spilled over with two still filled. There's still a chance for justice. There's still a chance to do the right thing, to charge people for crimes against humanity. You have the Five of Swords. Where's that at? Five of Swords and Eight of Cups. Five of Swords, Eight of Cups, and the Sun. Five of Swords is about, cutting corners to win. Or criticism, self-criticism. But this feels like, in terms of the UN Council, it feels more like um, it kind of feels like, man, how do we let this, or we can't let this slip through. We have to really do something. That, there's always a cost at one of the costs, but it feels like we have to be careful with how we approach this. The Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is moving into something better. Moving into something despite not knowing where you will, but being assured, having a surety that we're moving into something unknown but good, like better. Am I making sense? Because at the end, you have the sun coming out from the darkness, abundance, exposure, illumination, enlightenment, clarity, full clarity, understanding, success. So the answer is yes, but it'll take a lot of time and a lot of work. A lot of time and work and focus to piece together everything, to get the right players. We're being put on lists, our country. It's funny how America judge other countries and put them on lists of committing human rights violations. It's the same thing. That's the lessons. Those are the lessons, child. When the US regime falls, will it cause a domino effect around the world? Will other right-wing countries or organizations crumble too? What is that? Is that crashing up there? Well, now, see, that is the question, right? Let me see how long I've been speaking. 42 minutes. Okay. A lot of time. Well, that's a question. That's a question. When you say regime, do you mean the US as a whole, the United States, or the Trump administration? There would be, do you mean in terms of like being an imperialistic country? Yes. Will other right wing countries or organizations fail? I will say, I intuit a yes, because for the most part, people are tired of this. But on it also, it will take a lot of cooperation from people to fight this. It'll take a lot of cooperation for that to happen. It'll take a lot of understanding, a lot of education. Nine of Swords. Because the question always is, how did we taking, striking the history, right? We know how we got here regarding the historic pattern of America and the United Kingdom, Great Britain, how we got here with those countries, right? How we got here. But also in 2026, from 2016 to now, let's say it started in 2015, 14, the rise of conservative, you know, conservative, right wing, racist ideology, which has always existed, but you see the rise of it. This whole, nationalistic, this anti immigrant movement that they created to distract from the fact that they are abusers, that they amass billions of dollars and want to end globalization and point the finger and say that African person that's in your country, they're the problem. And they believe it. And then you have Brexit, and then you look at what they did and remove themselves from the European Union, and then they're suffering, the people who voted for it. They're like, we didn't think it would be this way. Well, you should have considered being anti-racist. There's a lack of education. So yes, people will reject the extremism after learning valid lessons and seeing, like, we're about to attack Iran. That's what's about to happen. That's going to push people even further to the edge. It's going to push people, because it's about, whoo, yes, is the answer. But there will need to be cooperation. It's tired, racism. It is tired. Aren't y'all tired? It's tired. Those extreme left wing people, y'all are, I can't believe that we still have to deal with y'all in 2014. Y'all are tired. Those vote for Jill Stein people, though, I know this is like random, this rant, but y'all are tired. Bernie Sanders distanced himself from y'all. He come up, you to you, yada yada yada. Y'all circle around him, and then he drops out and distances himself. Says Democrats are the way to be. That's what he says. Four swords, tired. Yes. Four swords. Six of swords. From chaos to calm. The answer is absolutely yes. But there needs to be cooperation. All three cards are swords. And it's Knight of Swords. Yeah. There's an intellect and expansion that needs to happen, and people have to come into clarity and see the truth of what's in front of them. That you have to be anti-racist, you have to be anti-hate, you have to be more than tolerant, you have to be understanding, compassionate, empathetic, intelligent, because y'all still suffering. Y'all still mad. Y'all still, all the things that you're miserable because y'all poor, because you don't have education, because you don't have proper health care in America. And y'all blaming the wrong people. Hello. So, next question. Next question. The answer is yes. That will happen. It will happen in our lifetime too, for sure. Because I could feel it that, people are just tired. And people are tired. Okay, I know you said we were in the middle of a shit show right now. asking for you to look in the near future at July 4th this year. Do you or your guys see Paw still sitting in his, let's just, do I still see Donald Trump in the White House in July? The future is not set in stone. The future is unpredictable. We're moving into March, April, May, June, July. Um, no. Show me in the cards, please. Show me in the cards why the answer is no. Saying no, something shocking will happen. No, something shocking will happen. Something shocking. I thought about when I had woke up this morning. It was around 5 a.m. to go to the bathroom. And I fell back asleep when I went back to bed. And in my dream, I remember I've been having a lot of vivid dreams lately. In my dream, I was talking about Donald Trump's funeral. And I was like, I had a dream about his funeral. I was describing his funeral, talking about the dream I had about his funeral, dreaming about his funeral. That makes sense? I was like, I dreamed this. What shocking thing? Show me in the cards. Why yes? If you can, show me. Emperor on the bottom. Seven of Cups in reverse. All out of choices. 9 out of Wands. Strength. The Empress. 3 of Pentacles. The Tower. Seven of Cups in reverse. You're out of options somewhere. 9 of Wands and Strength is saying, keep going. They're both cards of resilience and perseverance, and things are really tough. This feels like his health because the Empress is there, and the Emperor's on the bottom. That's his card. That's him. The Emperor and the Moon are there. Okay. And so you have 4 major cards, 7 of Cups in reverse, and the Tower at the end. The 3 of Pentacles is the people trying to figure out what's wrong with him. Ten of Pentacles and what is this? 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Not good. July 4th. I don't. I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't. I don't want to be like he'll be dead, but something surprising that I've sensed has to do with his health, possibly. But the Tower is there, and it's shocking. I said, why is it shocking? The Tower is about upheaval, great upheavals, and shock. Okay. Mark your calendar, see what that's there all about. We're gonna be out of this. I feel like um that's why I'm just sort of like I am when I see the things, I'm like, we're in hell. Because that's the truth, we are. Not literal hell, but it's just like, oh my God, please end this already. Like I know, when you have to do something or you're just going through something, you're just like, oh God, get me to the end. Please. I beg of you. Get me out of here. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like run for your life. It just feels like absurdity and just like you want to swing on somebody. You want to just get out. And so it's impatience and just like I know in my heart we are close to this being over, but it's just like, oh my gosh, get me out. Please. Get us out. That's what it feels like. Like, oh my God. And it also feels like I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so bad for them. Like, I can't wait until they get all of their consequence. That may not look like what people want it to be, but like waiting for dinner to be ready. You're just like, I'm hungry. Please. um, so I answered that. Okay, I hope you're doing good this week. Can you pull a card to see if the people need to take this country back from the ones who are in control of this now? Oh yeah, I don't need to pull a card for that. Mm-hmm. The only way. $10 billion, and he wouldn't feed people. We're on so many lists in different countries of like our food is inhumane. We are not safe to travel to here anymore. It's just so crazy. It's the purge. Y'all ever watch the Purge movies? Watch them. We won't get that far, but the essence is there. The essence. What was the question? No, the Senate. I skipped the question. Can you pull a card to see if the people take this country back? King of Cups in reverse. Yeah. Four of Wands. A Fool. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. The Hermit. Justice. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles. The Hermit. And Justice. Yes. The King of Cups in reverse is the push to the limit. It's what we're seeing now. Some people reacting very like, and that will happen more and more. Meaning like, emotional, angry. King of Cups in reverse, it speaks to emotional instability. If you drive people too far, you're gonna get things. You're gonna get fire. It's gonna be slow and steady though. It's gonna be peaceful for the most part. People building upon things and supporting one another. You have advocates, you have but you have justice. A withdrawal from selfishness. A withdrawal from building your own and understanding we need to do it together with the Four of Wands next to that. Taking a leap of faith, Yeah. Yes. We will be successful. Will the Senate pass the SAVE Act? No. Uh-uh. They don't have enough votes, I saw that when I saw the SAVE Act, I didn't feel anything like, oh God, here we go. I knew it wasn't going to pass the Senate. No, it won't. Will they pass? Show me one card why it won't pass. They need 61 votes. The devil's on the bottom. The devil and the magician. Eight of Cups. Three of Cups in reverse. They're not all for it. That's why. That's why it won't pass. The devil and the magician. They don't have enough power to get it done. The Republicans. Because the senators, some Republican senators are like, well, hold on now. Hold on. This is going to affect us more, maybe. Three of Cups. Three of Cups in reverse, Eight of Cups. They're not fully with it, all of them. And you need 61 votes, 60. They don't have the votes. Three of Cups is, cooperation and you working well with the group, friends or coworkers. That's in reverse. So that's why they won't. Green Eyes Bunny, I'll talk about that in the Epstein video I'm gonna do. The Life Touch CEO. Woo-wee! That's crazy. Trump's State of the Union speech is next week. Do you see him doing it? And if yes, will it be less than 2 hours like his last one was? I do see him doing it. He will do it. And it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Full of lies, and, I'm exonerated. He's going to talk about Obama. He's going to talk about Biden's failure. Um, he may not talk about the Epstein files. He's gonna address the nation. He's not gonna, he's gonna say crazy stuff. Um, I didn't say, hi Kim, with the uproar surrounding Tallarico, do you still feel that he will? I never said he would win the primary. I said he would lose Tallarico. I said he would lose. I never ever said he would win because he. Don't let me get into this again. Let's see. I said he would lose. I didn't say he would win. I did a reading. I did the results of the primary, and I said he wouldn't be chosen. Five of Cups, Page of Pentacles, popped out. Five of Cups is about loss. Page of Pentacles is slow progress. Knight of Swords in reverse. Not looking good for James. Never said he would win. Where you get that from? Didn't see that for him. Ten of Pence. Five of Pentacles. Nope. James Tallarico won't win. Page of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Go study loss. Five of Pentacles. Knight of Swords in reverse. Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords typically is like strategic movement, expansion, intellectual expansion, moving strategically, like real good, but it's in reverse. So, Ten of Pentacles and Five of Pentacles. Loss of support, loss of vote, isolation. No, he won't. Too shady. I said that he, when I pulled for him, there's some things, and he's young in that way where it's not about. I know I said we need younger candidates, but he gives me the vibe when you say out your mouth Joe Biden failed us, there's something underhanded about you, like you're going to be a Republican when you cross the threshold into 40. He shouldn't be trusted when you say out your mouth Joseph Biden failed us. What? Excuse me? And you ain't say anyway. I'm gonna go. That's all I got, guys. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, comment down below. Probably gonna do a number stamp for this time. I have the energy and the time to do it. I'm gonna do Epstein video for the next social justice corner, and we are going to pick it apart, explore some things psychically, and I hope that you like it. I will go now. I will see you. That's all I got. Bye.